Conspiracy theories have a big problem. Well, they've got lots of problems. But one of the funniest is this. People often believe two or more conspiracies that completely contradict each other. So which one is correct? Obviously neither, but it's fun watching them contradict themselves into oblivion. This is 5 of my favourite conspiracy theories that eat themselves alive. Hello all and welcome along to another video with me, Simon Dan. Thanks very much for joining me. Before we begin today though, a huge thank you to the sponsors of this video, Incogni. The number of data breaches around the world rises each year. According to the annual data breach report by the Identity Theft Resource Centre, it went up by 72% in 2023 compared to previous years. This means that you and your loved ones are at a constantly increasing risk of data breaches, as a growing list of data brokers holds your personal information. Now, whilst you can ask data brokers to delete that information, the process takes hundreds of hours to do manually and requires a lot of repetition. This is why you need Incogni. Incogni reaches out to data brokers on your behalf, requests your personal data removal, and then handles any objections from their sides. And the whole process is automated. They take care your data stays off the market by conducting repeated removal requests, taking your data down if it pops up again. And that is what makes their yearly subscription especially advantageous. And you can protect your loved ones too. With the friends and family plan, you can add up to 4 members to your subscription, meaning they benefit from the exact same service that you do. I've been using Incogni for over 18 months now, and the last report I got, I had over 152 requests for data removal. 152, and apparently it saved me 114 hours of work. And now introducing custom removals on the Incogni Unlimited plan. If you tried Googling yourself, full name, city, state, you'd be shocked at how many sites publicly share your information. But Incogni's custom removals can put a stop to that. You simply point them to where the data is being exposed, and their privacy experts will handle the rest. You just give Incogni the link to a website that's sharing your information, and then watch it disappear. Take your personal data back with Incogni. Use the code SIMONDAN at the link below and get 60% off an annual plan. That's at incogni.com/SimonDan. Right, on with today's video then, which is 5 conspiracy theories that eat themselves alive. And we will of course start with the big one. Flat Earth versus Hollow Earth. Flat Earth is probably the king of all bad ideas. The believers insist that the Earth is flat, covered by a dome and an ice ring around the outside. Meanwhile, Hollow Earth fans are living an entire different fantasy novel. They think the Earth is a sphere, but hollow with a sun inside, hidden oceans and even advanced civilizations hiding down there. Now these are 2 conspiracy theories that can't possibly be true at the same time, yet you'll sometimes find people that try and mash them together. If Earth is flat, it can't be hollow, and if it's hollow, then by definition it's not flat. Flat Earth depends on Earth not being a sphere. Hollow Earth depends on Earth being a sphere. They have mutually exclusive foundations. Both are easily debunked though, of course. I don't need to tell you how comprehensively we've debunked Flat Earth over the years. And the Hollow Earth theory ignores basic geology. We've drilled down, mapped seismic waves. The Earth's solid core is confirmed. Yet despite that fact, they're total opposites. You'll find people online happily declaring both true in the same breath. At that point, you're not debunking science. You're just watching 2 different flavours of nonsense arguing with each other. I often wonder how a flat earther and hollow earther would debate each other. I think it would make for quite an entertaining watch. Okay, moving on to our second matchup then, which is the moon landing hoax versus the moon is a spaceship. The moon is one of conspiracy theorists' favourite playgrounds. On the one hand, you've got the classic moon landing was faked crowd, who swear blind that NASA filmed the whole thing in a studio. On the other, you've got people who insist that the moon is not a natural object at all, but an alien-built spacecraft designed to monitor Earth. Now here's the problem. If we never went to the moon, how do we know it's a spaceship? You've never been there. These 2 conspiracy theories absolutely destroy each other. Moon hoaxers claim that every bit of Apollo evidence is fake. The photos, the rocks, the experiments, all of it. The moon spaceship believers though, they point to things like Apollo seismic tests or orbital data as proof that the moon is hollow and artificial. But you can't have it both ways. You can't claim the landings were staged in a Hollywood basement and then cite the results of those landings to try and prove the moon is a spaceship. And the science makes it worse for them. The Soviets tracked Apollo in real time. If it was faked, they would have shouted it from the rooftops. The laser reflectors on the surface are still bouncing back signals to this day. And the whole "the moon rang like a bell" myth is just a misquote. It vibrated differently because it's less dense than Earth, not because it's hollow. Yet somehow both these contradictory theories live on. According to conspiracy theorists, the moon is fake, hollow, a spaceship, and we didn't even go there. Make your mind up, guys. Okay then, our next battle then is a good one. It is of course chemtrails versus jet fuel doesn't exist. This one's almost too easy. Chemtrail believers argue that planes are spraying toxic chemicals into the atmosphere through their exhaust trails. The idea is that governments are trying to secretly control populations with these chemical clouds. Meanwhile, jet fuel hoaxers are out there claiming that planes don't use jet fuel at all. They think the tanks are empty and planes run on nothing but thin air. And here's the contradiction. If planes don't use fuel, then how can there be an exhaust? If there's no exhaust, then there's no chemtrails. Done and debunked, thank you very much. You can't poison the population through jet exhaust while simultaneously insisting that there is no jet exhaust. Unless of course you think that the chemtrails come from somewhere else on the plane, in which case, where do the contrails come from? The reality is straightforward. Jet fuel exists. It's literally bought, sold, measured, taxed every single day. Mechanics handle it, airports store it, and regulators test it. We can analyse the chemical composition and it behaves exactly as we would predict. Contrails form because hot, humid exhaust mixes with cold air at high altitudes, creating tiny ice crystals. That is it. Frozen water vapour basically, not poison. The chemtrail conspiracy has grown quite a bit online in the last year or two, but the jet fuel hoax hasn't, so chemtrails here is the clear winner. However, both are nonsense, so it's all good anyway. Right then, the next matchup is space is fake versus aliens have come to Earth. Now this one is a beauty. On one hand, you've got people swearing that space doesn't exist and it's fake. According to them, the stars and planets are just lights on the dome, and NASA has been faking every image since the 1960s. On the other hand, you've got people passionately insisting that aliens are real and they visited Earth, abducting farmers, building monuments, and zipping around in flying saucers. And here's the problem. If space doesn't exist, where exactly are these aliens coming from? The contradiction couldn't be clearer. If space is fake, then there's no stars, no galaxies, no planets, and therefore no possible place for aliens to exist. No alien civilizations, no flying saucers, no secret civilizations on Mars. But if aliens are real, and they are coming here, then by definition there must be other stars and other planets and other galaxies and actual space for them to travel through. And the science once again makes the contradiction laughable. Space is not fake. We can measure it, we can photograph it, and amateurs with backyard telescopes can see the rings of Saturn and the moons of Jupiter with their own eyes. And whilst we don't have proof of aliens, the possibility exists precisely because space is real. The very argument for alien life depends on the reality of the cosmos. This is a debate I would absolutely love to see. A space is fake believer against an alleged UFO alien abductee. Absolute fireworks, I reckon. Okay, on to our last conspiracy battle then for this video, which is aliens again building the pyramids versus Noah's flood. Some people are convinced that Noah's flood was a real global event that happened just a few thousand years ago, wiping out civilization. Others believe that the pyramids were actually built by aliens tens of thousands of years ago and have stood there untouched ever since. Put those together and the whole thing falls apart instantly. If a global flood really did happen as described, the pyramids would have been flattened or eroded or buried under sediment. Yet conspiracy theorists will tell you that the pyramids are older than human civilization. You see, you can't have both. And the reality is we don't need aliens or floods. Archaeology shows that the pyramids are around 4,500 years old, built by Egyptian workers using ingenious methods. Methods that match the evidence left behind. Quarry marks, tools, ramps, even graffiti. There's no mystery, and geology shows there was no global flood. There were regional floods, sure, but nothing that covered the entire planet. The contradictions here speak for themselves. So there you go, 5 conspiracy theories that don't just ignore evidence, they ignore each other. Well, actually it's 10 conspiracy theories really, and each one cancels out the other. Completely. It's like a conspiracy battle royale where everyone loses. And that's the real problem with conspiracy culture, isn't it? It's not about evidence or logic. It's about us collecting as many wild beliefs as you can, even when they smash into each other head on. Well, there we go. I hope you enjoyed that one, everyone. Please do let me know in the comments what you thought, and if you can of course think of other conspiracy theories that contradict each other, let me know. Thanks so much for watching today as always. It's very much appreciated if you enjoyed it. Please do subscribe to the channel and hit the thumbs up button too. I've been Simon Dan. Have yourselves a great day, and tomorrow I'm going to try and find a flat earther. See you then.